Hello, and welcome back to my Artist's Way journey, week 2. So, week 2 in the Artist's Way was recovering a sense of identity, and this week, just to let you know a little bit about like the vibe I feel like of my week this week and also what it tells you in the Artist's Way. The very first paragraph is called Going Sane, which they kind of talk about when you're beginning your creative recovery and you've kind of recovered your sense of safety, you start to, it now gives you exercises to help you learn a little bit more about yourself. And it kind of makes you aware that during that process, it can feel a little bit like you're going crazy, which like, I mean, my week this week has been pretty like insane. And like, I think I've asked Isaac, like, do you think I'm crazy? like, more times than he would probably like me to. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like I've really, it's weird. Like, I feel like I've really, last week, and the first week when I talked about the Artist's Way and wanting to do it, I was feeling very like, just fed up with my corporate job and feeling like I need to make a change. And every single, even at the end of last year, I like had like a major breakdown and like almost, like I started trying to, get everything in the works for me to quit my job, but then I just got too scared to. I didn't feel safe really to quit my job. I was worried about the money, about insurance, about, XYZ, not knowing what else to do. But this time, like this week, I don't know. I don't really know exactly what happened, but for some reason, I feel safer this time admitting to myself that like I need to quit my job. And like I want to talk about all this stuff openly and like honestly. So I'm just going to, maybe I won't post this video until I've actually got like some other position job in hand. Because like, I don't know. I don't want somebody at my current job to like see this somehow and have it be a problem until I leave. So anyways, this week I essentially decided that like I need to make the switch. Like my body has not been happy with me for like the past like I don't even know how long, like at least the past year. I've just been having all these like anxiety body symptoms related to my work because like it doesn't feel important to me. I know I don't want to do it forever, yet I still keep forcing myself to do it. And like I honestly have just been feeling so burned out at like my normal job. I just have, it's been hard for me to get myself to continue it. And I think for a while I wasn't sure, like, is it the job or is it me? Like, do I just need to, figure out a way in which I can do my job and not allow the stress or the anxiety to bother me? Or is it really the job? Like, should I just not be doing this job? Like, I don't think it's a bad thing to say, like not everybody is maybe meant to do certain jobs, or like there's definitely jobs that are not a great fit for certain people. And the way that like it kind of like popped into my head as I was talking to Isaac about it one day was that I really feel like for so long I want to do a good job. I really like being good at like whatever it is I set out to do. I try my best. I really put in the effort. I want to, put out good work, like, and just feel proud of what I do. And I think for a long time I was trying to like fit myself to this role. But I think what I've realized is that the role just doesn't fit me. And it's almost like I'm trying to like shove a square peg into a round hole and like fit myself to a lifestyle and a position that I've realized now is just not what my body feels happiest doing, not what I want to be doing. Like I feel like, I don't know, I feel like I have this somehow restored a sense of belief in myself to the point where I now feel like it's safe enough to quit. So, okay, yeah, I got like way off track, but anyways, I'm gonna be talking about that a lot throughout my discussion of what I did this week, because that was like the number one like thing that has been happening in my life that I feel like for some reason, like maybe it's the artist's way, maybe it's the other work I've been doing with somatic healing, but like I feel like I've found the safety and power within myself to feel okay to set a boundary and like to do something else and to let myself, you know, stop banging my head against the wall. Like I don't have to continue doing this, essentially. But anyway, so week 2 we talked about recovering a sense of identity and how at first it can feel like you're going crazy. You know, like I keep referring to my own life. Like I feel like I'm kind of like blowing up my life in a sense if I leave my job, and I feel a little bit like I'm going crazy because like I think what I've found is that like I just need the space and the time, and like so my goal currently is to quit my job, find something part-time. I would love to be a florist. Maybe I don't know exactly what I want to do, but I'm just thinking that's something I might enjoy while giving myself some space to like figure out what I really truly want to do. So that's my plan. But I do feel kind of crazy. Anyways, so and it's the first part of this chapter really talked a lot about recovering creatives and how you really need to avoid taking the first think, almost like an alcoholic needs to avoid taking the first drink. Like self-doubt is really the thing at this stage that could very easily like stop the train in its tracks. And in the past for me, with my job, that is definitely like the number one thing that has stopped me from leaving in the past was my self-doubt. And so like this time, some of the exercises that we have, it was like really encouraging you to like find something you like to do and do it. Find like make a commitment and do it. And so this last week, the commitment I made for myself was like, okay, I'm gonna update my resume. I'm gonna actually create an art portfolio, print it out, get all my ducks in a row so that then literally like this upcoming week I can start walking to florists and like applying for jobs. And like if I can at least do that, then like I literally just have to get the job, get it in hand, have it in my pocket, and then I can like leave. So, and like I've felt self-doubts creeping in throughout like this whole week, but I've just been trying to like will myself to be like, no, like no time for that. Like I know I have to do this. My body is telling me like this is the right thing to do. And so I just need to like full steam ahead, like don't worry about it. This week we also talked about crazy makers in the book, which I don't really feel like I have any people in my life that are crazy makers. And by crazy makers, the book sort of says that crazy makers are those with personalities that create storm centers. They're often charismatic, frequently charming, highly inventive, and powerfully persuasive. And for the creative person in their vicinity, they are enormously destructive. And they're the kind of, it says they're the kind of people that can take over your whole life. Fixer-uppers, irresistible, so much to change, so many distractions. And I think the whole crazy maker thing is essentially talking about like just anything in your life that is like distracting you from actually pursuing the things you want to do or taking the steps you want to take. And for me, I feel like that has been my job. My job is my crazy maker. You know, it costs me so much time and energy that I often feel like at the end of the day, I just feel drained, like not able or wanting to even to like work on anything else because I just don't have the mental energy or space for it. And I found this one passage interesting. It says, as blocked creatives, we are willing to go to almost any lengths to remain blocked. As frightening and abusive as life with a crazy maker is, we find it far less threatening than the challenge of a creative life of our own. What would happen then? What would we be like? Very often, we fear that if we let ourselves be creative, we will become crazy makers ourselves and abuse those around us. Using this fear as our excuse, we continue to allow others to abuse us. And I even had a conversation this week where I like described my job almost as like a toxic relationship. It gives me the, you know, money and like a sense of security and stability in that sense, but the cost of that has been like my time, my creative energy, my mental energy, my physical health. Like since for a while now, I've been having like I think I mentioned like anxiety body symptoms for my job, because I just was freaking out so much about it, and knowing that I want to do something else with my life, but feeling trapped and like stuck in the same thing. I was getting like random itchy rashes all over myself. I had like random warts like pop up on my fingers all of a sudden one time. I think because I was like so stressed and my immune system was compromised, or just like struggling to keep up. I get like super tight, like tightness in my left trap, and it'll just hurt and feel like it like will clench up and like won't let go, just tension in like my whole upper back. I've started also having like trouble almost like breathing, or sometimes even like anxiety or panic attacks when I go into work. Like sometimes I'll go in and start to feel like I can't breathe, or like I really need to concentrate on my breathing, or else I might stop breathing, and then like that scares me and I start to like spiral about it. I feel like I can't fully take a breath and like top off the air in my lungs, and just like this constant like shortness of breath feeling, that whenever that happens, that's like probably the most upsetting symptom, because it makes it so that like even when I'm not working, like I feel like I cannot relax like anywhere else or enjoy my life, because I just am struggling to like breathe and feel like I can actually like have this like sense of relaxation. Like so stuff like that has been a real challenge. And but like because of the like money essentially, like I've been staying and like trying to force myself to stay, because in my head I keep thinking like, well, you know, I'll figure it out, and I'm just going to be able to build this beautiful easy path from one thing to another, and like, but not knowing what the other thing is, it's been like kind of torture, honestly. And I think at this point I've like recognized it for what it is. I know I need to let it go, and so now I'm letting it go. So we talked about that. We talked about skepticism this week, trying to have like an open mind and allowing yourself to really just explore. And then we also talked about attention, and how like a creative life really involves great swaths of attention. It says, and attention is a way to connect and survive, in the sense that like as you go about your daily life, it's I think the attention is really talking about presence, and just like having the ability to look around you, notice your surroundings, and find like the little beautiful small things that like bring you joy throughout your life. And how, you know, sometimes when we're going through really hard times, that attention can really be like an anchoring point. Like people always say like, oh, just focus on your breathing. I've kind of always really found that very difficult, but lately I've been trying to lean a little bit more into like the visual attention. Like for instance, the other day, Isaac and I, we decided to go do yoga outside in the evening one day, like after work. And to be honest, like I wasn't really wanting to do it at the time. Like I was very tired, but then we went and did it. And I don't know, just, it was like kind of the slowing down, and being outside in the park and seeing the trees, and like, you know, being like upside down or in different positions, and just being able to look at the sky and the leaves, like really kind of like comforted me and like helped me feel a lot better. So since then I've been like really trying to like tap into where am I putting my attention? You know, am I putting my attention into my doubts and things, or am I just, you know, deciding to like really try to switch my attention into the things that truly matter, or that like bring me joy? And I feel like has definitely helped me a lot this week. Yeah, it says, in times of pain, when the future is too terrifying to contemplate and the past too painful to remember, I have learned to pay attention to right now, which I thought was very beautiful. And it's not really a new concept, it's just talking about presence, but it was still useful. And then for the tasks this week, oh, and also my check-in, I did my morning pages every day, which I'm happy about. And then I also did my artist date, and I actually have my artist date behind me. I decided, so I stretched my own canvas. I got like my canvas, I like made the whole thing this week, and then on Saturday I decided to like put this canvas down. And at first I was thinking about just immediately making like a giant mistake or something, but that's not, when I was really trying to feel into it, that wasn't really what my inner child was wanting to do. Like I really wanted to just like use some really bright, beautiful colors and just like make something like beautiful. And then along that process, I actually kind of did think I started to like mess up, quote unquote, the painting. Like I had added this like brown spot here and it was starting to look really muddy. But then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna like lean into this mistake. And so I like took the palette and like flipped it over. It was just like a big glass plate. And then I kind of like swirled it around on the canvas and it made this really cool, almost like blurring effect, which I really like. Maybe I can zoom out and show you. Yeah. Also, I'm in my bedroom. But I think it turned out really nice. And then I had some fun with like, I had like this textured vase and I put like white paint on the vase and then I like rolled it around on the canvas and it was really fun. I don't think it's done, but like, I don't know. I had a lot of fun doing it and I'm glad that I did. I've always wanted to do something really big and like, colorful. So it was fun to do. I think I'm gonna probably keep adding to it somehow. I don't know. Maybe I'll just make it my like, whenever I'm bored, I come paint on it or something, canvas. But yeah, I did do that. And then for tasks, so one of the tasks I chose to do was affirmative reading, and it says every day, be quiet and focus on reading the basic principles to yourself. Be alert for any attitudinal shifts. Can you see yourself setting aside any skepticism yet? And the basic principles I think I talked about in week 1. But they're like these basic spiritual principles about creativity, basically saying that like God is the original creator and creativity is like the natural order of life. And we all have creative gifts. And if, you know, not using those gifts is actually kind of like, I think it calls it, the refusal to be creative is self-will and is actually counter to our true nature. And there's like 10 of them. And I felt like as I was reading them every day, the first time I read them, I don't know, it's sort of, I think I sort of like glossed over them a bit, or just it didn't really like sink in or truly feel like meaningful maybe. But I found definitely like, as I was like reading these each day this week, I started to feel like I like actually believed them a little bit more. I think when I first read them, I was kind of like, okay, like I sort of understand in theory, but I don't know if I like really necessarily feel totally on board with everything, or I think I just had a lot of doubts about certain things. But as I've read them, I feel a little more like I believe them. And then another task I did was list 20 things you enjoy doing. Notice when was the last time you let yourself enjoy these things. And then just like use this as a resource for artist dates, which I did. Oh, and then we had another one that was return to the list of imaginary lives from last week. Add 5 more lives. Again, check to see if you could be doing bits and pieces of these lives in your current life. And so I did that. Let me see if I can find the additional lives I chose. Okay, so 5 more lives. Actually, I did 6 again. So this week I added florist. Like I think it would be really cool to do like beautiful, I would love to do like really crazy like funky bouquets or something, or just like even doing like custom arrangements for weddings or like receptions. I feel like I would actually really enjoy that. I don't know if it's like what I'd want to do the rest of my life, but it was something I felt like I might like to do. And that thought kind of like made me think like, okay, if I really do want to leave this job, why don't I just go be a part-time florist and see if I like it? Like I don't have to like it. I can like, maybe I'll like it at one place or not like it and then like just go somewhere else and like it. I'm trying to like keep an open mind about it. I don't want to get disappointed if like it takes me a while to find a job, or if I don't like the first one I take, or if I don't like it at all. Like I feel like this whole week I've really been like being like, it's okay to try things, and like to, if I don't like something, I don't have to beat my head against the wall and continue to do it my whole life. Like I can just change direction. So anyway, that was one thing. Another thing I wrote was maybe being like a wedding or event planner. I feel like I could potentially enjoy. I also had interior designer. I don't know if I'm that good at it, but like I think it would be kind of maybe fun to do. Or like fashion stylist, same thing. I'm not like a fashionista, but like I enjoy like cool art and like fashion pieces, and I think it would be fun like if I could just like have access to literally anything I wanted and like style for like celebrities, or I don't know, and just have fun. And then I also wrote down a great craftsman, or like an expert at making something. And like the thing that popped in my mind was like somebody who's like an expert craftsman and like makes like luxury purses, and like someone who works for like Hermes, or like a fashion designer, or they just have dedicated their life to this thing. Like that seems like it could be kind of appealing to me. And then I also wrote down jazz lounge singer. I am like, I don't think I'm a good singer, and like I've actually like refused to sing for most of my life, but I would really like to be able to sing. And like I think like women who do like jazz singing, I just really love it. Like I love the style. It always like makes me think of I think it's a Goofy movie with like the one girl character who's like dresses in the all black with like the beret or whatever, and she's like at the jazz lounge. Like I don't know, it's just kind of a mood. I feel like that could be fun. So yeah, those are my lives I listed. And then another challenge was life pie. It was draw a circle, divide it into 6 pieces. One piece is spirituality, another exercise, another play, work, friends, and then romance and adventure. And it was kind of like having you map out like how fulfilled you feel in each area, and like seeing, you know, where the imbalance lies. And mine was definitely like kind of spiky, or well, I don't know if it was spiky, but it was kind of like medium to low in a lot of them. So it said, as you begin the course, it's not uncommon for your life pie to look like a tarantula. As recovery progresses, your tarantula may become a mandala. And it's just to help you kind of like notice where the areas in which you might be feeling less fulfilled, and encouraging you to like take some action to like fill them a little bit more. And then there was also one that was 10 tiny changes. List 10 changes you'd like to make for yourself from significant to small, or vice versa. And then number 9 was select one small item, make it a goal for this week. And then 10 was now do that item. And for me, I chose for that to be like putting together my portfolio, updating my resume, taking pictures for all of that, which I literally got done today. Like I actually submitted, I don't have a printer, and so I like submitted my resume and portfolio so I can print them at like Walgreens, so I'm going to pick them up later. And then once I have that in hand, I can actually start walking places and like applying. And then Isaac and I, we also decided to do like a no spend month this month. So like just only paying for like necessary things, like rent, food, you know, bills, obviously, no eating out, no coffee, no frivolous, you know, non-essential things, because I've been feeling a little stressed about the financial aspect, or just a little worried about it. So yeah, we've been doing that and it's been going pretty well, but yeah, so that's what this week was. I know that was kind of long, probably. I also like got these flowers. Actually, Isaac bought me the flowers so that I could take pictures with them and like help put something on my portfolio. But yeah, that's what these are. And anywho, I'm feeling like, I feel like I have a little bit more of like a fire's been lit under my butt or something, to actually make a change in my life, because I just feel so like proud of myself that like I've recognized that like this job is really not good for me, like I need to leave. And I've actually, like last week I took all the steps I needed to like set myself up to actually get a different job. So I just feel like very proud of myself for that. And like I'm still scared of like judgment from like, I'm scared of mostly what my dad will think. Because I haven't like told him yet. I've told my sister and my mom, and like they're both supportive, and I've told a couple of my friends, and obviously Isaac, and like everybody's been like super supportive. But at the same time, it just feels like it's difficult to go from like making a lot of money and like a high, like, I don't know what a very prestigious type of like project engineer corporate role, to then just like blowing up my life and like maybe making like $8 an hour. Like I honestly don't know like how much a florist will make. I'm trying not to like worry or think about it too much. Yeah, and I also had like this conversation at work last week where somebody was telling me, it was like a really long conversation, and they were talking about how like the younger generation just doesn't want to work and doesn't like can't keep the, I don't know, keep up with the corporate stuff. And during that conversation I was kind of just like smiling and nodding, trying not, because like this person didn't know that like even though I've been at the company for almost like 4 years now, I feel like I've really honestly like given it my shot. But I'm a little scared of like what people at my work are gonna think too. Like I don't want, I don't know. I just really hate being like labeled like a quitter essentially. But I don't think I don't owe them anything. So, and like the job will go on without me. Like yeah, so I just think I think I at this point in my life like I owe it to myself to explore and actually give myself time to like figure out what it is that I want to do, to actually explore what do I like, you know, because I like never really had a chance to do that. I never felt safe enough or supported enough to do that when I was younger. And like the harsh truth is that like I have to be that person now. Like I have to be my parent essentially now and like reparent myself and tell myself it's okay. Like I don't have to do this job. Like anyways, I don't know if it sounds like I'm just talking about the same thing again and again, but that's just how I've been feeling lately. So yeah, so now I'm on week 3. I've already actually done my morning pages this morning. It's like my first day of week 3 today. And what is week 3? Week 3 is going to be about recovering a sense of power. And it says this week may find you dealing with unaccustomed bursts of energy and sharp peaks of anger, joy, and grief. You're coming into your power as the illusory hold of your previously accepted limits is shaken. You will be asked to consciously experiment with spiritual open-mindedness. And the first thing it starts to talk about is anger, it looks like. I don't know. It's weird because I don't know if it's the book or I think it's just a combination of things, or maybe the book was kind of the final, like what's it called, like exiting force, like exit velocity I needed to like just a little push to kind of get me going in the right direction. But I sort of feel like I'm already like I feel like I'm coming into this increased sense of power, so it's just interesting to see that that's like the next one. Yeah, anyways, it's been like very emotional few weeks here, but yeah, not gonna stop. So anyways, I guess I'll see you guys next week at the end of week 3.